So with 2023 coming to a close and obviously 2024 coming on the side of the road, we are going to go over personally, in my opinion, albums that I enjoy listening to and albums that I've listened over the past couple of months in regards to 2023. And we're just gonna kind of just give my thoughts in regards to them and just overall my thoughts in regards to the album. And this is just gonna be a little fun little video. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started though, I do want to have a quick honorable mentions to these albums that I'm going to talk about. These are albums that I am currently listening to right now, and I still haven't finished the album yet. I just been busy with as of lately, so I kind of don't have the time to listen to the albums. But these are albums I am going to be listening to before 2024. And these albums are Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. Shouts to Lil Yachty. Gift is a Curse by Gunna. We got Killer Mike. We got Tech by Lil Tecca. Welcome to Coal Grove. Or Coal Grove, how you say it. And A Great Chaos. These are albums that like I said, I haven't listened to yet. I just been busy and whatnot, and these are albums I am listening to as of lately right now before 2024. So keep that in mind. By the way, if any of these albums, let me know anything about these albums. Are they worth it were they worth it to you? Is it good? And this is all opinion basis and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Music is highly opinionated. So if y'all don't like what I have to say regarding these albums, it's okay. Just let me know your thoughts in regards to it. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the first album. Alright, it wouldn't be a album 2023 if I didn't mention, obviously, Utopia. Travis Scott's obviously highly anticipated album. And this album is probably like one of my favorite albums of this year. I know it's probably biased because, like, come on, it's Travis Scott. But I think this album was honestly like really good. And like this had some freaking fire like albums, and the way Travis had like some hits on these is like really good. I remember listening it to the first time and I was like, it was good. And then once I listened to a couple more of the songs, my mind was just like, yo, this album's like really freaking good. Like I said, it could be biased because I'm like a Travis Scott fan and whatnot, but this album is so freaking good. And it's a really freaking good album regarding it. Probably my favorite songs from this has to be Telekinesis, I Know, Meltdown with Drake is pretty good. My Eyes, I've recently started listening to. It's really good. Mar Jam, I think it's pretty good. The one with Playboy, Fiend, that one goes crazy. This basically has everything about for everything, like for everyone, like a specific amount of song for anyone, in regards to like what you listen to, and it's just every time I play one of their songs, I could really just close my eyes and just listen to these songs and whatnot. And this is just overall, I think this is honestly a really fire album from Travis Scott himself. Alright, next one is For All the Dogs, obviously by Drake, and I think this album is pretty good. I don't know, this one was such a toss-up album for me. Could be just me, but I feel like a lot of people, when it came to this album specifically, a lot of people always said, oh, this album was just okay, or people just missed the old Drake. And do I kind of agree with them a little bit? I think honestly, no offense to Drake in any aspect. Like, I respect Drake as an artist, obviously. Like, Drake, his discography is kind of crazy. And I think this album's good, don't get me wrong. I think this has some hits and whatnot. Amen with Tezo Touchdown is pretty good. The one with Jacko, I think First Person Shooters, that's like one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite songs from the album, as well as the music video for it, as I think that one's pretty good. Slime You Out with SZA is really good. The one with Yeet is pretty good, to be honest. I actually am also a fan of that one. And there's a bunch of other songs from Drake I just don't remember at the top of my head. But I think this album is pretty good. It's not my favorite album, but from Drake, but it certainly is not bad of an album. I feel like people, when it comes to the album, I feel like people kind of shit on it, but I think this album is pretty good. But it doesn't. I think there's other albums from Drake that are better, in my opinion. But I think it's pretty cool of an album. It's like I said, it's okay. It's okay. It's good, but it's definitely not my favorite. But I remember listening to this. I was like, it's good. It's cool to see like Drake evolve as an artist and whatnot regarding his sound and his songs and whatnot. But like I mentioned, I don't think it's my favorite Drake album as of right now. All right, next one we got is "Set It Off" by one of the Migos, Offset, and this album's fire. I don't care what anybody says. I think this album is really good. I mean, it's just what do you expect? It's Offset, part of the Migos. R.I.P. my brother Takeoff. But regarding his solo album "Low," "Set It Off," I think this is a fire album to me. Maybe it's just because like I'm a fan of Offset and whatnot, and I think he's cool. But this album, I think it's pretty fire. I'm gonna be honest. Like this album is pretty freaking sick. First off, I'm gonna give shouts to the album cover. I already made a entire video on it, which I'm not gonna get into. But I guess to keep short and sweet, this album I think is pretty good. Probably my favorite song, probably "Fan." To be honest, the first one that came out. I've been bumping to that song for a while now, and that one's a banger. I ain't gonna lie. "Worth It" is pretty chill. "Say My Grace" is also pretty good. "I'm On" is also pretty good. "Blame It On Set" is pretty good. There's a couple of fire songs and whatnot. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of the album cover. I don't know, the way the album was, the way he was promoting it with his clothing brand and all that stuff, the way he was, especially the clothing brand and whatnot, he was promoting the hell out of this album. But I think it's for good reasons. I think this album is really good, in my opinion. I think it's really good in regard to Offset. Huge respects to Offset, as well as the music video for "Fan," as he tried to kind of be an inspiration of like Michael Jackson. Shout out to MJ, King of Pop, man. All right, next one we got is "Pink Tape" by Lil Uzi, and I think this album's pretty good. It's a good album. I feel like people, similar to Drake, I feel like people like didn't like this album, to be honest. But I think this album it was good. It was good, to be honest. It's definitely not his best project. It's just okay, to be honest. When I first listened to it, I think it was pretty like really good. But then as I've listened to other albums and whatnot, I think there's other albums that are better. That I think "Pink Tape" is just like at the bottom. That's not to say the album is like trash. I just think it was okay. It was good, but it's not as better as other albums out there. But I think "Pink Tape" is pretty good. One was Travis Scott on "A." That one's pretty good. My favorite probably is "Days Come and Go." I love that song from him. It's like always like a vibe every time I listen to that song. At least I started listening to "Endless Fashion." That one's pretty good. "Pluto to Mars" is another one of my favorites. Obviously, "Just Wanna Rock." That's obviously everyone knows that song. "Zoom" I like also. But I'm not gonna lie, unfortunately with this song, unfortunately like with this album, this does have some bad songs, I ain't gonna lie. But that's up for y'all to decide. But personally, I think this album's just okay. It's just, not only it's not his best album, and two, there's definitely other albums in 2023 that are way better than "Pink Tape." No offense to Uzi, but I just think there's other albums that are better. Okay, next one we got is the Metro Boomin Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, I know this not album is a soundtrack, but I'm still going to include it in this, as I feel like people are going to mention this sort of album, even though it's not an album, it's a soundtrack. But any means, I still want to mention it here because I kind of want to talk about it a little bit, obviously. And this is such a good soundtrack to the Spider-Verse, Cross Spider-Verse and whatnot. This honestly has probably the most listened in regards to my like song wise that I'd be re-listening to every like day. There's so many songs from here that I re-listened and I just really like. One of them being "Annihilated." That one's really good. All the Way Live, that's another good one. Self Love, another good one. Danger, another good one. God, I can Call In, another good one. There's so many songs from this album that I re-listen to and I just listen to as like a replay because I just like this soundtrack. The way just the songs go by Metro, the beats, the features, everyone killed it on this soundtrack, and I adore Metro for the like soundtrack and all the features that people did. This was such a freaking good soundtrack. Like this this was so good. If this was like an album, this obviously would have been my favorite. But obviously, this is only a soundtrack. I kind of like that. I'm only mentioning here because I feel like people are going to talk about like mentions. People are going to mention this soundtrack, but I just want to bring it up because I had to say something about this because this soundtrack is so good by Metro. Shouts to Metro. I'm glad he's getting so many recognitions, and I hope he wins the Grammys. I heard he Heroes and Villains on a Grammy, so hopefully he wins it. As I think he's as a rap producer, I think this is honestly, I think he really deserves it. All right, next one we're gonna talk about is Jackman by Jacko. Now I think this is probably, I think this is a good album. I think it's okay, to be honest. I think it's a good album, but it's definitely really forgotten. I'm gonna be honest. This is probably one of, I feel like this is gonna be an album that really no one remembers or listens to. I just remember listening to it. I give my thoughts about it, and I kind of just dipped with this album because I think this album, I don't know, Jack Harlow. Did this really help his like career, like come back after the Come Back Home, The Kids Miss You? Because that album was like filled with trash and whatnot. A lot of people hate the hell out of that album. So did this really like help boost recover like Jack Harlow's like thing? A little bit. It actually did, as it did have some like good hits on this song, to be honest. The only song, to be honest, that I only listen to is I think it Can't Be. I think that song's pretty good. But I think I think ever since like the music video or the video that he did, I forgot what the song's called, but he did a music video of a song of his, and apparently that blew the hell up, and now he's kind of known. Now he's kind of back up to where he is. Yeah, Loving on Me. That did like really good numbers for him, and that's good for Jack Harlow. I still think Jack Harlow is a pretty good artist. I think he's a good artist, despite being obviously Come Home, The Kids Miss You. But I think this album, it's good. I just feel like it's gonna be so forgotten because I feel like people just remember this album when it came out, and then after that they just kind of just dipped and don't remember this album at all. And do I blame people? Yeah, I can't blame them. Or I do blame them because, to be honest, I was the same. I listened to this album, gave my thoughts to it. I think it was good, and I kind of just left. And I haven't heard anything about about this album since, to be honest. So I don't know. It's just one of those albums where I just remember it and then I just forgot about it. All right, next one we have is Nostalgia by Raw Wave. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this album is good. Like, this is a freaking good album, and I'm like a beginner Rod Wave fan. I saw it blew up like a lot, like over social media when it first came out, and I decided to give it a listen. And yo, this, if you like, I don't know, if you're in your feelings or whatever, this album has it for you, whatnot. Like, this album is really good. If Utopia probably wasn't on here, maybe either Set It Off or this album, this would have been one of my favorite albums of 2023. I feel like people should give this like a listen. People like, if you are like in their feelings and whatnot, this album has it for you. His voice goes so well with all these songs, and all these like songs have like such like meanings and whatnot about it, and they're so friggin' good. I love the hell out of this album. This album's so good. Nostalgia, Long Journey. I think it's called Great Gatsby or something like that. That one's a good one. There's so many freaking good songs regarding it. There's more to come, but if you haven't given this song a listen, give it a listen. I think it's honestly pretty good of a song. Shout out to Raw Wave, man. It's such a good freaking song, or album, and I really enjoy it. And I'm a like beginner Rod Wave fan, and I really want to see what more is to come regarding Rod Wave. I really like it, man. Shouts to Rod. The next one I'm going to talk about is Business is Business by Young Thug. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, I never listened to The Gift is a Curse by Gunna, and I think from what I remember, because I don't like listen to beef like that, but I think Gunna and Young Thug had like some beef or something like that. And I think Young Thug released this album or something like that. It's something between the lines. I don't listen like beef and all that stuff. But in regards to it, I think this one is. Correct me this. I think this one's okay. I just wasn't a fan of Young Thug. Like not. And what I mean like not a fan, I just mean like not like I'm not like a Young Thug fan. You feel me? I don't listen to songs like that. And it's no disrespect to Young Thug. I don't hate him or anything. I just don't listen to songs. That's all. But I do think he does have some hits and whatnot, like COD. That one's pretty fire. With Gunna, that one's pretty good. I just think this album is just okay. I just really didn't. I gave it a listen, and I don't know. I really just wasn't feeling it. It could be just me, but I just really wasn't feeling Business is Business. Maybe I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about this album for those that gave it a listen, because I just. Is it really that good from what I'm hearing and whatnot? Because I'm not sure. I just because I remember giving this a listen. And I remember listening to it. I think the features are good. I don't know. I don't know. I just really didn't give it a. I don't think I really gave this a try. Maybe I might re-listen to this album and see what I think about it. But I don't know. It's just. Maybe something's off about this album that's just missing, or maybe there's a song I haven't really felt like it was good. I don't know. I think this was good, but it just boiled down to, I guess, there wasn't really a favorite song of mine from this. Now, those are albums that I listened to in 2023. From what I remember, that like I said, there might be some other albums I haven't listened, or that I do remember, I just haven't listened to, or I just haven't remembered. But those are albums that I listened to from what I remember 2023. And obviously, like I said, the ones I mentioned at the beginning of the video, those are the albums that I currently am about to listen to. I've just been busy, and I'm just working on listening to all these albums before 2024. In regards to that was basically my take. If I'm missing any albums, let me know, and let me know like what albums I should listen to, like regarding 2023, and maybe I might give it a listen. But in any means of that is basically it. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like I said, it's really opinionated, so if you guys don't like what I have to say regarding these albums, it's all good. Just let me know your thoughts and all of that. But with that being that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If y'all like this, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.